Paua ki runga, paua ki raro, paua ki tā more more nui no runga, ki tā more more nui no papa. E rongo he hai o tēnā tāwhito pau kātou, e kore e uia, e kore e ngaru, e kore inga, e kore whararā. E tūnei te pau. Tēnei te pau kōrero ka tuku atu rā ki o tātou nei, naunga ki o tātou nei, tōronga ki o tātou nei, karanga maa kua taka ki atu rā, te ara puhana o ngā mātua. Koutou rā kua riro atu rā ki pōnui ki pōroa, koutou rā kua waiwahi nei, te tuku atu rā koutou, wairua, ki te ao wairua no hoki. Koutou kua kara punipuni mai ana, ki te ao wairua, e moi mai rā te moi, e rarau koutou, koutou ki koutou. Koutou rā kua tāhuri atu rā to tuara ki te ao mālama, me noho mai rā nā rungi rangi Māori me te whakaaro mātua, e noho mai nei nā mātou i tēnei wā. Nori rā e moi kātou. Anā ko koutou rā kua angatika mai rā ki tō tātou nei whakāturanga i tēnei pōnau mai hara mai whakatau mai rā. Whakatau mai rā nā runga nā i te maunga kua tauiho mai rā te huka huka ki aia me te pūrei kohu. He tohu anō hoki tērā, he mai aro ha ka puta atu e roto i te ngākau tangata ki rātou kua wehi atu. Ngari anō, ka whai wahi anō ki tātou, kia puta ai tātou ki te whai au ki te ao mārama me ona mai o ngā kawinga, me ngā mai nunui, me ngā mai doroa e kawia mai rā e tātou. Me o tātou nei whanaunga e noho mai rā i raro i te ohiti tuatoru ki Waikato, ki Tāmaki Makaurau anō hoki. Anei nā, te mihi ka wake rā kia koutou, kia māia tonu, kia kaha tonu koutou, mea o koutou mai. Te akina o koutou whanaunga. Ko tātou e angatika mai rā, kei ngā tai e toru, he mihi ka wake rā mai te tai hawa auru. Koutou rā angatika mai rā ki tō tātou nei wakaturanga i tēnei pō, te Kohu Ka Rewa. Te manako nuia ka whai māramatanga i raro i te kohu. Ka hikina te kohu, ka kitea mai rā peangera he māramatanga. He kai timo mai itihi, he hākari mai itihi atu. Nori rā nau mai hara mai, wakatau mai rā. Kua tatu mai rā tō mātou pai, anō hoki, hei āta wete haere itihi o ngā kōrero, kua riro mai rā i te anga o tēnā pukapuka o tēnā o ngā pukapuka. Nori rā nau mai hara mai, o wakatau mai rā. Ko Te Poihi Campbell tēnei, kai takutaha e tēnei wā, ko te tokorua rā, te ara pia wahi mā te tokorua, e me hika wake rā ki koutou. Nori rā, tēnā koe Hemi.
Tēnā koe te poi o ti rā, e te iwi, te wānau e mātaki mai ana o ka rongo ana ki a tātou kōrero i te pōnei. Mihi ana ki a koutou e no o nei i tēnā pito i o koutou kāinga i te pō. Ko te tūmana ko ka mahea mai te kohu, kia kitea mai pēr he paku māramatanga ki e te hi kaupapa e te hi kōrero. Hei tātari mā koutou mō ngā rā kai te tūmai. Koe anō ngā mii ki ngā mate e tautoko ana, ko ia hoki tērā ki taku rongo, ki taku titiro, ko te toora, kua pai ki uta ki ngā tai o Taranaki. Me iana ki aku whanaunga, kai reira e tiaki ana i tērā taonga i te waiti nei. Koe anō me iana ki a koutou, i te iwi, o tira tēnā kūrua, e aku tuakana. Tēnā tātou.
Kāti tēnā rā tātou, hoi anō tairanga mai te motu nei, tairanga mai te ao nei, mano e ki tia mai, mano a pāinga mai, kia piri mai, kia tata mai rā koutou ki tēnei pai kōrero, ki tēnei wānanga i te pōnei, hoiti anō rā e tautoko ana i ngāmi i ki ho tātou mate, tērā matua, tērā koro eke, te waku matua Uncle Freddie, ka ngaro i te wā, ka ngaro atu i nanai, hoiti anō rā e mihi ana ki aia, me te wānau, kua pania nei, e te mate i tēnei wā. Hoiti anō, ko rātou ki a rātou, ana kei ko nei rā tātou ngā kanuhi ora o rātou, he kōkiri tonu nei, e kaue tonu nei, i ngā kaupapa. Ke hiki tia mai te poi'i, ke hapainga mai, ana kia puta pēr tātou ki te waiau, ki te ao mārama, i roto i ngā kōrero o ngā mātua, nō reira, tēnā tātou.
Tēnā kōrua, ai, ko ia no hoki te waenga mātua e tēnei wā kia whai māramatanga e roto i ngā kōrero o tēnei wā. Nō reira, koutou, welcome back to Te Kohu Ka Rewa. Welcome back to our Pai Pai. And as we do each week, we acknowledge those who have passed on, and we also acknowledge those who have tuned in tonight, and also our whānau who tune in once this wakaturanga is completed, and then it's online. And so probably a big acknowledgement to Te Korimako whānau who are up late at night and early in the morning, and then they go again. So they help us bring these pai wānanga together and all the different connections that Te Korimako makes with our whānau, not only here in Taranaki, but extended worldwide now. So we've been watching many online interviews, listening to many of our whānau who live away and kaupapa that's related to us. So it's really good to have an organisation such as Te Korimako Taranaki to give us this opportunity to bring you kōrero. So tonight we'll have a look at our agenda tonight. So we've got a couple of karakia that we want to share with everybody tonight. Some are common, but we may be able to give some kind of context and just a little bit of wakamarama on some of our kōrero tuku ihunga. So we'll go to our first slide. Now this karakia poi. So it's commonly recited down in South Taranaki, but there's also a hononga over in Ohakune. I understand that the longer kōrero or poi is recited at Te Koroneihana. I te kōrero ki tā tētihi kōrero, ko te ata e hāngai puana ki te ātairangi kāhu, me te ronga hononga e waenga i a Taranaki me Waikato. So I've heard that that kōrero, that the ata that we were speaking about is in relation to te ātairangi kāhu and our connection of Taranaki with the Kiwai or the Kite connection with Waikato. That's one wakamarama I've heard. This is like one verse of many verses of a poi, but it's the construct is very much like a karakia construct. So I suppose we put the karakia construct together, we overlaid that with the poi, and it's presented in that manner. But we also hear this verses of this karakia tanga kōrero in sort of individual verses sometimes, and it's all it really relates to the context of the kaupapa. And so it's a familiar verse. He ata ki runga, he ata ki raro, he ata ki te waka tūtū, he ata ki te waka rito, he ata wiwia, he ata rawia, he ata tāunga, he tāunga. And so what I like to do in the first instance is to sort of just give some kind of translation around the imagery that we're sort of looking at. So he ata, ko te ata tonu tērā, ne? So I suppose to put it into context, if we're thinking about the emerging morning or the growing or development of the morning, then you kind of get a picture of what it's trying to describe. He ata ki runga, so te ata growing above. He ata ki raro, the development ki raro. He ata ki te waka tūtū, so in this case, you know, the key kupu or the core kupu is the tūtū, so it's standing, or you can say standing up, or it's in the phase of going to stand up. It's encouraged to stand up, and we're still talking about the development of the ata. He ata waka rito. So if we have a look at the rito of a harakeke, so that's the small shoots. But once again, it's describing something which is going to grow. So the he tupu, he rito e tupu haere ana. Yeah? So we can kind of envisage the morning growing. He ata whiwhia, he ata rawia. Now these two words, whiwhi and rawe, are very common in Aotea karakia. And my understanding with these two words is you can heata that has been seized in this particular context, the morning that has been seized or the morning that has been achieved or acquired. So that's talking about how the morning has developed and it's been established. Heata rawea, that's around how it's firm and firmly rooted, and well, I suppose that's been obtained. So these are statements which I think are related to something after. Yeah, so it's developing phase, but now it's been rooted down, and now it's been established, it's been tamed, it's been seized, it's been acquired. Yeah? So you hear a lot of in Aotea karakia, nā, ko te whiwhinga ki runga, ko te whiwhinga ki rang, ko te whiwhinga o rangi nui e tū nei. Same with rawe, ne? Ko te rawenga ki runga, ko te rawanga ki raro, ko te rawenga kia rangi nui he tū nei kātou. So I think these are phrases to acknowledge the establishment of a particular development. Yeah? And then heata taonga, well, you can, so the precious morning, let's say it in that phrase, the precious morning. So once again, it's the acknowledgement to the development on the morning, and to be thankful that, he taonga tēnei mea te ata. And so if you wake up in the morning and then you're seeing the development of the morning, well, he taonga no hoki tērā. So I think it's a gesture of gratitude. He taonga. So if you can kind of see an image of a morning being developed, you can kind of get and the appreciation of its development. Te ata hai, te ata tū, te awatea, ka kitia te wanakitanga o te ata. So that's just a little bit of a kōrero around the imagery of this particular verse. I suppose I'll pass it over to Jamie. Jamie, have other kōrero to add to that explanation?
Yeah. Wai tāpiritanga ki o kōrero Te Poihi, he karakia karanga taonga tēnei ne. I roto i ngā pukapuka o ngā mātua. Kua kōrero ke tātou mō ngā kātu karakia, ngā karakia, ngā tapuai waka, ngā tupe, e rā uatanga. So I think, yeah, this is an example, as Te Poihi has indicated, of a karakia karanga taonga. And, was sung during the time of Parihaka. You actually see elements of this first verse of this particular karakia in older karakia before the emergence of Parihaka. And I think, as we've discussed in previous weeks, the key thing is to sort of to see the picture, the imagery. And I think that for me is the beautiful thing about this particular karakia, is that, it paints a picture for us. And Hemi can go into some of those aspects. I guess the only final point for me, Te Poihi, is e ai ki ngā kōrero I tukuna tēnei waiata, hei waiata mā te ata. So I tukuna kia waikato, and kei te waiata tia tēnei waiata e waikato, me tō rātou wake rangi, anā I hēnei rangi, kua tīni ngā kupu, he ata, ki tūheitia, ki runga tūheitia ki raro. Tūheitia ki te waka tūtū, tūheitia ki te waka ritorito. And so, this, which was quite common among our tupuna, and you see, te waka tuapekatanga o ngā kātu waiata uenei, that, there's a great honour, gifting particular karakia poi. And another example of this is, of course, wakarongo mai, tētahi o ngā poi o ngā morehu o Parihaka, I tukuna tērā ki ngā pairangi to Kaitwaiki when they opened the house there. So, I think it's just really useful, and for our whānau that are listening, that, often in the past, ko tētahi o ngā taonga nui o te iwi, ko te tuku I tētahi waiata. hei taonga mā te iwi, hei waka pūmau anō o ki ngā ononga I wāinga nui te iwi. And so, yeah, and as you say, I mean, Te Poihi, this song is probably sung more by Waikato. You know, we do sing it, you know, and we have a similar waiata with hihira that Ngāti Rangi and that the river sing. But I think the key thing is really understanding the elements. But ka tukua ki a koe Hemi, me mea kōrero anō mo ngā kupu.
E tāpiritanga iti noiho nei, engari kapia katoatia ia kōrua ngā teho hunutanga o ngā whakamārama. Engari e tika ana tā Jamie I roto I ngā kōrero ka kite ake he karanga taonga tēnei momo waiata I runga I te mea kua rongo ke ia tātou e waiata nia ana I roto I ngā tau. Engari he wāhanga iti e karakia te okaputanga ne. Yes, and not too much to add there apart from the fact that I've seen it referenced as well as a karanga taonga. Taonga kōrero, taonga aha noa nei. Engari, and in that you can see strong imagery. And Jamie's right. The key thing is to see the first verse, this particular first verse, in the way that you would see a beautiful rising dawn, yeah, and we hear common statements as such, you know, associated with the preciousness and the beauty of the rising dawn, and what that brings as a new day. So when you put that into context and maybe around how we see a taonga and how a taonga emerges from the night into a new day to form and bring beauty to a new day, much in the same way that the rising of the new dawn or the rising of the sun in the morning brings fruits of a new day. And you put that into the context of he karanga taonga. For me, you can see some beautiful imagery. So probably just a little bit of a build on the imagery, Jamie, around how we view the morning, what that symbolizes in terms of bringing the fruits and beauty and preciousness of a new day, a taonga of a new day, and how that might align to how we greet taonga as they come into our lives. And so I've seen it recorded in I roto I te tuhinga o ngā mātua, ko tōna whakamārama he karanga taonga tēnei. And when you're in Te Poihi, as you both know, when you go through the other 7-8 verses, you can see how this beautiful imagery and symbolism that can be brought to that kind of thinking around the way in which the dawn brings forth fruits and beauty and taonga of a new day.
Yeah. That's why I love, the image, the whole ata wiwia, ata rawea, because, I mean, it's how we connect and acquire and possess and how we become part of that new dawn. And I think, again, this is another example of how ka tiki nātu ngā uatanga ngā kano o te taiao, hei māramatanga mo te iwi I tō rātou ao. And, we see this, we've talked about this often, that sort of pursuit of our tupuna, kia puta I te mate ki te ora, mai te pō ki te ao mārama. And that's that sort of, that cycle that we go through in life. Te poi kua ki te au, te pātai nei, ka pēhia tēnei karakia mo te Kohu Ka Rewa, ingoa mo te ware. Well, he karakia anō mo ngā ware. Mau pia Hem?
I've heard it being used in the during the opening of a house. I remember going to the opening of the house in Waikawa, and Toe Pakanga and Auntie Millie were part of the procession to lead the opening of that house, and I remember them singing and trying to teach us on the bus parts of it. So, ko rongo au tēnei karakia e whakahuati ana, e taki, e waiatangi ana i roto i e rā mai. And ki taku titiro, e hāngai ana, no te mea e whānau mai ana he taonga hau, e hua mai ana puta mai ana te ware i te ata pō. Ka haia te ata, ka pua te ata, kua timata te karanga ki te whakawhānau mai, whakaputa mai te ware, te kawa o te ware. So that's one instance where I've heard it being used, and consequently I've heard it used a couple of other times, being used to open up ware. But at the time that's appropriate, yeah.
Yeah. So there are, you know, there are a series of karakia that are used for opening of a whare. This is one of them. If it's put into the right context, I think. So we do have specific karakia, say for the unveiling of a name or for the opening of the door or so, but this is part and parcel of the whole ata. That's because, like, as the morning is opening, well, you are opening a new whare, so it symbolizes an opening. I've always sort of seen this as also the light at the end of the tunnel sort of thing as well. So, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I've always had this image in my head that this is what it's talking about. You know, nei ka noho mai nā koe I te pō, o kei reira te ata. You know, he rangi anō, he ata anō a pōpō. So I'll kind of give it that sort of slant to it as well. So, yeah, very much hāngai to the opening of the whare. Tēnā koutou. Koe anō, a te terapea, kua pau ngā kōrero I a tātou. I think we'll go on to terapea te papa kōrero tuarua. Anei. Mawai.
I'll kick this one off. Where do I start? This is maybe this is a little bit of an addition to your the kōrero that you raised a few weeks back, Te Poihi, around that karakiatanga kōrero about pupuke te hihiri, pupuke te mahara wānanga nui o te kore ni, te tehi kōrero pēra, I puta I a huirangi ma. This was another kōrero that Jamie's pulled out of his little box of tricks for us to kind of have a bit of a chat tonight. And it talks about, for me, you know, the how do we set this up? Talks about the energies, for want of a better English term, and speaks to the growth. I suppose it's a growth cycle, yeah. In that we've seen this karakiatanga kōrero used in several ways during the time that whakapapa is recited. So this is just a small how that kind of sets things up, where we say kei te wakawini ngā tai o te pō, kei te wakawana ngā tai o te ao marama, kei te wakarurutu ngā tai o pupuke te hihiri, pupuke te mahara, pupuke te wānanga, and then things kind of further kōrero kind of rolls from there. But if we look at the first line, kei te whakawini ngā tai o te pō, whakawini talks about, you know, the energy that's required, or the energy that kind of emanates from the night. And kei te wakawana is I think it's shaking. And so what we have here is that the energy is associated with the night or darkness, and in the way in which light features as a part of that process gives forth in a right, because pupuk is to rise and grow, yeah, much in the same way a puku will grow, or a seed might grow to just before the point that something shoots up. So the imagery in our minds talks about this energy that kind of emanates from the night, much in the same way that energy is drawn from the te ao marama and inspires this growth and emergence of thought. Maybe I'll hand that on to you next, Jamie, if you've got any further additions to that.
I mean, I think, he tauira nō tēnei ne. And so, as Hemi outlined, you see the first three lines present in a number of our poi, a lot of our karakia, and also waiata, tangi, and then you also see it recorded in a number of our manuscripts as the sort of the header, if you like, to particular lines of tātai. And so, you come down to pupuke te wānanga, ko mutunga, nā mutunga, ko tūwareti, nā tūwareti. And so our old people used it as sort of, I guess, sort of, we could go through mai te kore and the various but it sort of summarized, if you like, that whole cycle that we could recount. But it was sort of quite neatly, and then you're able to sort of go from that point into a particular tātai. But as Hemi outlined, it also speaks about that dynamism and that energy, and the fact that, that cycle again, that even the night has that potential that sort of emanates forth. And I love the waka wini wini, waka wana wana, because, when you're trembling, that's that energy, right? It's sort of wanting to unleash, and waka wana wana to sort of shoot for the light. And whakarorotu ngā tai o pupuke. So you with that energy, you're starting to have this sort of the welling up of thought and desire and understanding, pupuke te wānanga. And then, you can go from there. So I love it because it's, I haven't really seen this in other regions, but it's something that is particular to Taranaki as a whole. I've seen it in North Taranaki, in Waiata and Karakia, right through. Kei te waka wini wini ngā tai o te pō, kei te waka wana wana ngā tai o te ao marama, kei te waka rorotu ngā tai o pupuke. Pupuke te iri, pupuke te wānanga, and you go on, and then you can sort of do your whatever. So it's a bit of a it's like a sort of that. It gives you that sort of introduction, and then you can go on to whatever your particular kaupapa is.
Yeah, because many tātai, because many of our iwi will have examples of how we have tātai, kai ke mai te pō, tupu mai te pō, pō tuatai, pō tuarua, pō tuatoru, pō nui, te pō roa, those types of tātai. The great thing about this particular structure is wrapping them into one. Kei te waka wini wini ngā tai o te pō, ko wana wana ngā tai o te ao. And, when you get to understand a little bit more about those tātai associated with the pō and tātai associated with the ao, they usually come together in some way to explain about how this energy of growth kind of happens, and emergence of thought, and the hihiri. Te maha
tērā pē he ana tana o kātūranga. Yes, I suppose just to
in this context.
Not quite sure what's happening with our technical issues there, but we got a brief from must have been Hemi's energy.
Kei te whakawini wini ngā tai o te pō.
Hemi. So, tupa tō tātou, pupuku te, ihi te mahara, te wānanga. So, I think this is a great summary of, if we're talking about tātai whakapapa, te kāwai, mai te kore ki te pō, mai te pō ki te whaiau ki te ao marama. It's just a really summarized, beautiful way of saying it. I love the way that the waka wini wini is used in ngā tātai. So, I like that. It's like a invigorating and agitating or moving, or it's got a little bit of bite of energy.
I like to use this word tai as kind of waves of energy. Ko ngā tai o te moana, it's an energy, It's an energy that is controlled by our lunar cycles that influences the push the ebbs and flows of water. And we have different, I mean, a lot of those, a lot of our whānau out there listening might be familiar with that. Ngā tai o te ao, ngā tai ao, ngā tai o te kōatu, ngā tai o te, o ngā mea katoa he tai.
He tai.
So the use of the word tai, I think, is a really, really, is a beautiful way of capturing a form of energy that each living thing has and is associated with it.
Yeah, and there's a number of poi that actually start with that. They have actually this as the beginning, and then it goes to the various elements of the natural world. You know, ngā tai o hairimu, ngā tai o, and all of those sorts of things. So again, that, and it was something that Huirangi was would always sort of use, right? Te tai tangata, te tai moana, te tai wenua, te tai, you know, and all of those sort of components and elements that make up the natural world that we live, of which we are, as people, a part of.
Made up of, yeah.
Made up of, yeah.
Well, I like the idea of the tātai, but I like the idea of the reverberation. So, you know, if we're talking about frequencies and about sound, I think I might have spoken about this last week or the week before. You know, I'm beginning to think now that the notion of tai and the movement of tai is something to do with sound and frequency and reverberation, because it sounds like that's the thing that's kei te waka wini wini. That's the reverberation of sound. And if we think about, you know, atoms, and we could probably think about all those types of things, they're all moving parts, right? So we're all made of the same material at the end of the day. And I'm just thinking, you know, that could be our connection. This could be a way of explaining that tātai and that and that kaupapa, the connection, and using these terms tai, ngā tātai, ngā tai, sounds, waves, possibly he whakaaro noa.
Yeah, well, there's actually he poi, there's actually a poi called ngā tai, which actually goes through all of those sort of elements, or those energies, if you like, and it has these lines in it, and you and I have been through that poi hema. I mean, you know, ko tai o mahara, ko tai o toitupu, ko tai o manatu, ko te tai o rongo, ko te tai o te wai, ko te tai o te kohatu, ko te tai o te kiore, ko te tai o te mamaku. So it actually, you know, goes through all of those sort of elements that make up our natural world. And again, you know, these were composed at a time where it was sort of seeking an understanding of our natural world and how we live with those other natural elements and energies. So, yeah. And I think the only other thing to poi is I've also seen the first three lines in Waiatatangi and actually used in oratory. You know, kei te whakaruro tu e, kia koe, te taonga o te mate, kua riro nei. You know, and so there's that element too, which sort of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful kōrero. Okay, pai tērā, tērā pēr kua kōti a tātou taua wahanga. We could be here all night just on that one there, but I think we'll carry on with our third slide. Tēnā koe mata. E kara kia tanga kōrero. Oh.
Back. Yeah, so tēnā, he tauira nō tēnei ne, he karakiatanga kōrero. And so just thinking about, you know, some of the key themes and imagery and those things that speak to who we are, again, I just thought this is another example. And I know Te Poihi, and, you know, he karakiatanga kōrero tēnei, he matua o ki te kōrero, he matua o ki te wānanga, he matua o ki te rangi. He matua o ki te papa e takoto nei, rarau ki tā more nui, nō rangi, nō papa, tēnā tau i tō pau kātū. Pau ruanuku e aui ki tō matua kia papa tuanuku, waka aui tia e e mau e hai. And so, as I was just thinking, we were going to go back and recap on some of the kōrero that we've done the past 7 weeks. And then I thought, well, he pai tēnei hei tauira. He tui ana i etahi o e rā kōrero, ka kōrero tēnei e mātou. And so, again, another example. So we've seen the use of ka matua te kōrero, ka matua te wānanga, that you sort of spoke about Te Poihi. So again, sort of affirming the importance and the importance of dialogue and discussion.
Right.
He matua hoki te wānanga, the importance of understanding through dialogue and discussion. He matua hoki te rangi, he matua hoki te papa e takotonei. So as we've discussed in previous weeks, that whole balance and that, we've talked about the tangible elements, the intangible elements, those things that we sort of feel and touch, and those things that sort of aren't necessarily seen but are felt. Rarau ki tā more nui no rangi no papa. So we've talked about this concept of tā more nui, which is, we see quite often, right, through a lot of our karakia, through a lot of our poi, which references, again, that taproot, but also how we might be bound and come together without obstruction, to be free from obstruction. And then we've talked about, and you led off this evening, Te Poihi, with paua ki runga, paua ki raro, tēnā tawito pau ka tū. So again, that pau as a metaphor, as figuratively speaking, as a source of strength, source of sort of resilience, he pau waka wirinaki, but also that pau that connects us to that sort of ancient knowledge and understanding. Pau ruanuku, e aui ki tō matua kia papa tuanuku. So this is really interesting concept. Hemi and I were talking about it earlier, and I said I was going to throw this over to him, but so pau ruanuku, right? So just thinking about this is a verse from a particular poi. And when I think about, pau, we know what pau is, right? Ka pau te poi. And it also, pau also means to, in this context, around how through, pau ruanuku. And so a ruanuku, he tangata mātou. When we think about ruanuku, other concepts or words that we've discussed over the past few weeks, ko te tauhito, ko te tupua, ko te ruanuku. So, having that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding. E aui ki tō matua kia papa tuanuku. Waka aui tia e mau e hai. And so thinking about this in the context of being a poi that was composed during the time of Pariaka, when we think about papa tuanuku, we think about our place, our tūranga waiwai, our land, which basically inspires and encourages us to not only connect, but to support papa tuanuku, and that to maintain that connection to the land, which in this context is basically, like we've discussed previously, that call to action, because we're having quite deliberate dialogue and discussion and
resilience,
about that resilience. And so common theme, you could recontextualize this today around, building our understanding and knowledge and connection to the environment or to the natural world, and how if we're able to maintain and retain that, he ora mo te tangata. Tukuna kia koe, Hem.
Yeah, I think ultimately it talks about, the primary importance of discourse and dialogue and connection to our environment, and that, if you look at the bottom kind of terms as you articulate, Jamie, that that direct connection to place and to land, and that these things are collectively bound and embedded into the land in a way that a post or a pillar, or in my case as an old land work. I used to work on a farm when I was a young boy. An old strainer post that's embedded so deeply into the kind of land that it's unshakable. So those are the images that I have in my mind, and even to the extent that this pau ruanuku is the way in which the pillar is is put into the land. Te ruanuku is the land, and earth, in the way in which that post is embedded into the land is the symbol for resilience, and that these things, that discourse, dialogue, connection to place and identity, are the things that make us resilient as a I'm recontextualizing this, by the way, as a symbol for resilience.
I see probably the kupu that I kind of would use, probably affirmation. It's an affirmation of your tangata whenua ki te tihi tūranga waiwai. So I see that in this. I also see, kia mai o tonu tātou, kia pērā tonu tātou, kia tū, harei te tūpau, kia to establish ourselves and be confident in ourselves. I also see that within this particular karakia.
We've got to think about, as we keep saying, and week in, week out, context is everything, yeah? So this is another poi that's come out of Parihaka, and you can imagine the dialogue and the discourse and the messages of inspiration that were being spoken about through the speech making and through all of these kind of intense meetings about how the people were making sense of these
challenges,
diversity in a way that needed to draw off traditional references through Pakimairo and Pūrākau and such like, in a way that's recontextualized to our people and what they were going through and the adversity that they were going through at a point in time. So for me, that's the context that kind of resonates. If I put that into context to give an interpretation, I think those things are really, really important. Just as important as they were back then as they are today, yeah?
The beautiful thing about this, that last sentence, Pau ruanuku, e awi ki tō matua kia papa tuanuku, because it's basically saying when you put that pau in, because, we've talked in the past about tēnā tawhito pau ka tū, and then we're putting another pau in, but it's a more sort of eloquent way of saying, hammering in the pau into the ground, but they're saying pau ruanuku, and thus you're actually sort of talking to that pau, e awi ki tō matua kia papa tuanuku.
Yeah. Whakawhitia.
E mau.
E
kua marama. And so it's whereas the other examples of, tēnā tawhito pau ka tū, e kore ui, e kore wārara, e kore inga, is speaking about, the pau's in the ground and it's unwavering and it's going to be quite stable. Whereas I think this is a beautiful image. And, the imagery here can be used in sort of whai kōrero and karanga, and Pau ruanuku. E awi ki tō matua kia papa tuanuku. Waka awitia e mau. Beautiful.
Yeah, tāhua hoki. So you can use this as an endorsement. So you got the endorsement feature in there, and you're consenting. And I'm looking at this again, thinking belief. Just kia urawa koi ki te kaupapa nei. And this is a beautiful way of describing that that notion. Pau ruanuku e awhi ki tō mātua kia papa tuanuku. Waka awhitia e mau. Beautiful. Love to hear it on the marae Aotea. Te tihi, kaha ki te, haere tōna toko.
So he wahanga tēnei o tētahi poi, he roa te poi. Engari ko te wahanga whakamutunga tēnei, engari e āngai ana ki ngā kōrero kua kōrero tia I roto I ngā wiki ko ta ake nei. Identity, and understanding.
Yeah. It's got all the elements in this karakia. Beautiful karakia, once again. Okay, we've got another slide there. Te kore mako.
Okay, kapai.
That's your one. You're going to do a recap.
To do a holder.
Hey, no reire te iwi, last week, I think I kicked over to Hemi and he said, ka reo te marama. And we just thought we better just finish off this particular kōrero, and no doubt Puna's online. She would probably more eloquently sort of describe this particular kōrero. because as we were going through this ngiri last week, and then we started, oh, that's right. And I think the important thing here is, we've talked about the context of this kōrero around the time that there were particular groupings within the Rohe wider region of Taranaki who were looking to sell Taranaki. We talked about that beautiful imagery of te karaka, I whakaura I te motu, e tūnei. And then we got to the sort of final verse there, and I guess to summarize it, our tupuna were not afraid, well, it wasn't tapu, if you like, or taboo to speak about human anatomy and, sexual organs in terms of waiata, and, that imagery was quite sort of prevalent throughout a number of waiata and kōrero.
Or even the way in which it describes the realities of conflict and war, and how sexual organs kind of inspire riri and can be used to offend people.
Yeah, and so, when you think about the context of this ngiri, it's being performed and people are saying, hey, come on, I'm going to continue to fight and object to what you're wanting to do. And then again, it's sort of using the sort of female part. So, ki te tohe mai koe, he aha te kai mā te niho keho keho. So it's you're taunting your enemy.
Taunt, yeah.
You're taunting, right? You're saying, hey, ki te tohe mai koe, he aha te kai mā te niho keho keho. And niho keho keho is a representation of the tara, so the vagina. And so he aha te kai mā te niho keho keho. He keho anō, tuana te keho keho, ngaua ki ho niho hau. So just think about that. They're basically saying, if you're coming here, you're going to be he kai mā te niho keho keho. And then it speaks about he mamai poto hautua te rā waikura tihe. And so just think about that imagery. We were trying to sort of work out how we describe this and sort of, but I think you get the imagery, right? So you're taunting your enemy and you say, if you come at us, you will basically be
offer.
Well, you'll be eaten and we'll spit you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hemi e kōrero anō. And then, there's another verse which speaks about he tama te uaua, he tama te māro. So, and so on and so forth. But I think, for me, what I really love about this ngiri is ka tohe au ki Taranaki, ki taku karakai, wakaura I te motu e tūnei. Now, despite the context of this ngiri, back when it was composed and performed and continued to perform today, that opening statement is something that can be embraced by any uri of Taranaki. And I love it. It's beautiful.
It's quite defiant, eh?
The use of the symbol of a karaka is really beautiful. And I've always termed it as a rallying cry, and but a rallying cry is something to rally around, which means there's a sense of permanence and connection to the land, and much in the same way we've used kia piri, kia toka, and so it could be used in that context, where ko te karaka. I've heard kāmaka. Kāmaka's used a lot at Pariaka through particular whai kōrero. Ka tua noa hei kāmaka mo te motu nei, so that I'm here and can be used and as a symbol of resilience and permanence. I see that use of the word karaka as something similar to that. But the context is it's a rallying cry for us to rally around hei kāmaka mo te kaupapa, that they, for the purpose that they were performing this.
Just probably to add to the kara there, I just remembered maybe about 20 years ago, I remember a kōrero about the kupu kara, so about it being the cry or the call, and that is the root word for karanga. and also the root word for karakia. So within those two kupu, I can see the wakamarama that you're talking about, the use by itself, kara, can be used as the call and the cry. I just had a fleeting thought that I remember some discussion around the kupu karakia, because as you know, we don't have the word karakia in our takutaku or in our karakia, in our ruruku, the word karakia. And I think the discussions was all around the word kara being the cry or the sound or the presentation of a call, kara.
But its intention is to rally around a purpose, yeah? Or in this context, anyway.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay. Haka ka nui tēnā.
Haere tonu.
Yep. Do we have another slide there? Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Ka
I
tukuna
can
ki a
check
koe
the
he.
first one off, and I'll leave the next one for you, Jamie, or Te Poihi. So he paeketanga waiwai tupu mai te poroporo. This is a whakatauki or a kupu kōrero that came from quite a well-known kuia. Those of you from Taranaki iwi will be very familiar with this kuia called Rahiri Mihia. Now, Rahiri Mihia was the daughter of a chap named Haupoto, for which gave rise to the hapu, Ngāti Haupoto of Taranaki iwi. Now, I will leave that group of families or those people to discuss at some other point a little bit more about who those tupuna were. But I think this is a beautiful kōrero because it it kind of says so much, and it's really, really simple. So the context for this is that there were a group of people from a little bit north of Rahotu that were looking to kind of settle themselves across Rahiri Mihia's land. And they were kind of, it was happening kind of unencumbered. So Rahiri Mihia was living further down towards Ōkato with her husband Tamakumu. And what happened was she had heard that the people, I'll say the people a little bit around Ōkahu were kind of coming across the Ōkahu River and settling into the area around Pungaerere. And she had heard that her, I'll say her whanaunga were kind of coming into her...
Encroaching.
We're encroaching into her rohe to the extent that they were building fires and they were setting up camp. And they were helping themselves to certain resources that were grown in that particular area. Those resources being te kumara, e taro, he karaka. They were also looking to establish whakaparu piharo. And so she had heard that these people were encroaching without objection from her, I say her nieces or her nephews or her younger relations. So she thought, well, I think I'll just sit on this for a bit, and ka putau ki te kato rauriki, ki te kato poroporo. And then ka uki mai ki tana kāinga, ka kia tu aia ki tana hoa kia Tamakumu. E paeketanga waiwai tupu mai te poroporo. And then he said, tēnā e wai māku koe kawe ki tō wenua. And so what that means is, he paeketanga waiwai, meaning if, I suppose literally translated, meaning that if our feet are left to pass or leave, ka paeke, the poroporo will grow. So that, so what the interpretation of that means is if we are not active in walking and traversing our land or occupying our land, the poroporo, ka tupu mai te poroporo. Now, poroporo might be termed by some as a weed. And so it's a beautiful interpretation of saying if we don't look after our place, don't care for the resources and the things that are important to us, the poroporo will grow. And so what happened was Tamakumu took his kuia, his wife, back to her land, and she said to her younger relationships, me haere koutou ki te aru i o koutou tuakana taina ki tua I te awa. Engari kau e huhuti upoko ko koutou anō. Meaning don't take any heads. They are your relations. We need to just gently encourage them to go back home. And so that's, I believe that's what happened. I mean, the kōrero is long and much longer, but I think this particular whakatauaki could be said is a beautiful one in the way in which we need to remind ourselves kia kaha te hoki ki te kāinga kei tupu mai te poroporo.
Koere te painga ki au him. I mean, the historical context is it's a beautiful story and narrative. But yeah, it's a reminder, right? Yeah. E pāketanga waiwai, tupu mai te poroporo. Even though poroporo as a rauriki is a beautiful thing, in the context here, you know, because it's actually it's pretty hard to find poroporo these days. But I think it's a really great reminder because the context for today is, you know, ke hoki tātou ki te kāinga, takahia te wenua, manakitea, you know, te wenua, and just sort of maintain that connection. Because if you don't, you know, literally the weeds grow. And, you know, here, so I think it's beautiful, as you say, him, because the narrative associated with it, but the language.
I like the term, kei kau e huhuti upoko, ko koutou anō. Don't take heads.
Don't take in heads.
They are
your own.
Yeah.
Your own ka pāheke tanga waiwai. Beautiful kōrero. I think given the narrative, it gives it a real clarity in how you can use this. It's just a reminder to, you know, te ahi kāroa. Traverse your own lands. You keep at home and working at home, you know, ka tupu mai te poroporo. So the poroporo could actually be, you know, others could come into others could come in and migrate on your patch if you don't. If you're not too...
Well, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Others migrated and encroached onto their patch, into their ancestral land, and the resources that provided that community.
Yeah, maintaining our connection and relationship, eh? Ko e tupu mai te poroporo.
Yeah.
So
kei tupu mai te poroporo.
Kei tupu mai te poroporo. Okay, well, māku, Nā ngā nihororoa, hā te kāwanatanga ka ngau, hā ka mate te wenua. E ara I te tangata te engari nā te maunu I mau ai te ika. Hemi uses this one all the time, so he should really talk to this.
Human nature.
Favorite, this one.
Yeah. So, you know, so nā ngā nihororoa, hā te kāwanatanga ka ngau, ka mate te wenua. So this is really speaking about the actions and the behaviour of the government in terms of the impact of raupatu, you know, ka mate te wenua, ka mate te tangata. You see again, you know, some of that dialectual stuff, roroa hā te kāwanatanga. Again, you know, you see that in a lot of our written records, hā hēnei, hā tātou. And what I mean, the piece I love is, you know, e ara I te tangata te engari nā te maunui mau ai te ika. So literally meaning it's not the fault of the person, but it was actually the bait that caught the fish is the literal sort of translation there.
The offerings.
Well, it's the bait, right? So what it's saying is, you know, we're human, eh? Our human nature, we just can't help ourselves.
Yeah. It speaks to the human faults that every human has in life. It's not our fault. It's just human nature.
Yeah.
So this
temptation.
Temptation. Yes.
Yeah. We're not the kupu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huaua te kaupare atu I te wakawai, right?
Yeah.
And this is what it is, right? So it uses the symbolism and the analogy of, you know, it wasn't the sort of it wasn't the fish, you know, it was the bait, right? Not the fish. It's just that the fish couldn't help itself. So it's a likening sort of human beings to you know, the poor old ika when that bait goes out, it just can't help itself. It's
It has to feed.
It's attracted to it.
Yeah.
It's been attracted to it. You know? Yeah.
And so I guess, Hemi, like some context for this, if we think about how we apply this in the context.
Yeah, so the context for when it was when it first appeared was during the time that the government had applied a whole lot of different legislative frameworks for that led to the loss of land, yeah. And so what that led a whole lot of our people to kind of do is be involved in a process that ultimately led to the loss of more and more land.
Alienation,
Yeah, and so the land alienation. So what the tupuna was saying at that time was, gee, isn't it just human nature? And it's not actually their fault, and it's actually the government that created this temptation and lure that led to not large scale, but that led to certain things happening. So the context for the way in which it can be applied now is probably similar to as you articulated before, Jamie. You know, we're all kind of, I don't know,
got our
led
frailties
at some point by some form of temptation, but it is just human nature. So sometimes we need to understand that.
Yeah. And I think it just reminds us, right? So, you know, that discipline we've talked about. And, you know, the context here is, you know, when a lot of our whānau had been allocated land, but they had a piece of paper, the land was yet to be surveyed or actually allocated to them.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's many of these accounts, it was quite easy to sell a piece of paper.
Yep.
But I love that concept, you know, yeah.
Well, there are a lot of temptations, yeah.
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 Hey, I mean, it inspires us really to be a little bit more disciplined.
Yeah.
That understand, well, what are our vices, I suppose, and to be a little bit more
aware
for the way in which we can be aware of what those things are.
Hence, we need all those karakia that we've been presenting over the 7 weeks. Yeah, come on, B. Yeah, keep on task. Focus. Yeah. Oi anō, e mihi kawake rā ki koru o tira koutou rā anga tika mai rā ki tō tātou nei o kāturanga I tēnei pō. Koutou e whai wāhi ki te tuhi haere e te hingo ngā kōrero. Hei ngau mātou whatu manawa o tēnei o ngā pai kōrero. Nurira, tēnā koutou. Te manako nui ia ka whai hua, ka whai take e te hi o ngā kōrero. Tērā pēr, tae no te e koe, te wakatīnana e te hi o ngā kōrero, e roto I tō mai pēr. Tērā pēr, e roto I tō ako manga, tērā pēr ka wakahangai atura e te hi o ngā kōrero, nā ki ngā akoranga, hei kai mā koutou. Nori nā, mihi ka wake rā. Tēnā kōrua, o tira, tēnā koutou, te korimako o Taranaki, tō kaha hoki ki te hāpai ake, tēnei o ngā waanga tūranga kōrero. Nori rā, mihi ka wake rā. Nā, kua tauho mai rā a tamanu I te rā, e mihi ka wake rā ki koutou. A tērā wiki ka hoki mai anō, whai wāhi anō ki tō tātou nei pai. Ki te wakamārama e te hi o ngā kōrero. Nā, tēnā koutou. Tērā pēr, māta karakia, anō oki, hei hiki I tō tātou nei waango te pō. Nā kia au, kia mau, manawa tīna, manawa toka, manawa tīna, tēnei hoki tō manawa tīna, ka pautāki ki tēnā noho te manawa ora. Ora ki tupo, ora ki tauito, e rongo he wakaria ki runga tūturu, wakamau kia tīna.
Tīna.
Hui e.
Tai ki e.
Tēnā koutou.